Hey guys, it's Miss K. By day, I'm an English teacher. By night, I read a heck of a lot of books, and I started a YouTube channel to share my thoughts and feelings on the books I was currently reading. Today's book is one of my absolute favorites. It is the second one in the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer Armentrout. It is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Look at this book. There are 625 pages in this book. It is my favorite in the series thus far, and I can't wait to review it with you all. But first, let's review the 3 things that you need in any good piece of literature. There are 3 things we have to remind ourselves in the world of books. 1 is character. If you do not have adequate character development and a character profile from beginning to end of the book, then your characters will be flat, one note, and they will not act like real people. 2 is world building. This is the universe that your characters live in. And the third one can overshadow both of the others if not done correctly. That is style, word choice, and vocabulary. If you don't have the ability to actually say what you want to say, it doesn't matter how good of an idea it is. Doesn't matter how complex character you have. It doesn't matter if the world is the best that's ever been in existence. If you can't say what you want to say, then it doesn't matter. With that, let's get into A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer Armentrout. This book is everything I love in high fantasy. It is my favorite out of the entire series. I love the series with Poppy and Hawk, who we now know as Castiel. When we left off from Blood and Ash, Poppy had realized that Cass was not Hawk, her humble guard. Instead, he was Prince Castile Denier of Atlantia, aka the Dark One, the one that everyone in Solus feared. She also realized that Solus is not what it seems. The Ascended are not some godlike beings. They are actually vampires that prey on people and drink their blood. The children that are offered up to the temples during the ritual rite have actually been drained of blood, and they are used to feed the Ascended's bloodlust craving. And so now Poppy has a choice to make. She can either run from Cass and try to make it on her own in the woods. She's probably not going to get very far, considering she has no idea where she's going or who she can trust. She doesn't have any other capabilities other than she is a heck of a good fighter, and she can sense other people's emotions. She agrees to marry Cass and pretend to be his fiance as they journey towards the kingdom of Atlantia. As they go along this journey, her powers start growing. Powers that are only applicable to a very strong Atlantean bloodline. Poppy believed before this that she was human, but it turns out she's actually Atlantean. She can sense other people's emotions, change them just by touching them on their arm. And she also develops an ability to heal, like heal broken bones, cuts, scrapes. She can't regrow severed limbs. However, she can keep the cut from festering, and she can heal infection. No one has been able to use these powers or has seen these powers for a long time. Not in Solus, not in Atlantia. Poppy didn't even know she had these capabilities until just recently. So Cass tries to help her navigate these newfound abilities, teaches her about the true history of the world, the true mythology behind Nyktos, who is kind of like the god of flesh and fire, and his consort, who created the lands and the realms as they know them today. As they're journeying towards Atlantia, getting closer to Sion's Cove and toward Evamon, which is the capital of Atlantia, they grow very close to each other. And Poppy has to question, are they actually pretending? She has to realize in her heart that she feels something for Cass and he feels something for her that is very, very rare. Kyrian, who is Cass's bonded Wolven. Wolven are similar to werewolves, whereas Atlanteans are similar to vampires. Kyrian mentions that Cass and Poppy, he thinks they're heartmates. Now, heartmates are similar to soulmates, but it goes one step beyond that. Heartmates are blessed by the gods because it is almost divine intervention, a necessity. It was foretold by the fates that they should get together. That's what heartmates are. They are not simply soulmates or lovers for the sake of being lovers. They are one in the same. She is not Poppy without Cass, and he is not Cass without Poppy. After they realize that I can't live without them. They do ultimately get married. At Spessa's End, which is one of the outpost colonies in Atlantia, they decide to perform their marriage ceremony in front of all the Wolven, other Atlanteans, and humans that are there. Their marriage is blessed by Nyktos. He is king of the gods. No one has blessed a marriage in that way since, since the beginning of time, since Nyktos married his own consort. And so Cass and Poppy's relationship is pivotal throughout the rest of the series. They take on the Ascended multiple times on their journey towards Atlantia. And by the time they get to Scion's Cove, Poppy realizes that one day she will be queen of Atlantia. She has to understand how to get along with their people. She has to understand how to rule. And more importantly, she has to understand what it means to be Atlantean. Because she's only ever been human before this, used by the Ascended for their own purposes. Now, at the end of this book, unfortunately, she and Cass are betrayed by people that they trusted, by their own guards. And it turns out not everyone in Atlantia is happy that Cass and Poppy married. Not everyone in Atlantia is happy that Poppy has these rare capabilities and powers that they have not seen in a very long time. At the end, Poppy is almost killed by a group of rebels called the Unseen. Now, this group of rebels didn't really understand that they weren't working with just any Atlantean. They didn't understand that Poppy's powers go far beyond healing and sensing emotion. Her powers, if left unchecked and uncontrolled, which she wouldn't know how to control them, she just found out she had them, can be very deadly. And in a flash of sparks and lightning, she almost burns Scion's Cove to the ground. This is the last paragraph in A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. When Poppy calms down, Cass and his parents, the Queen and King Valen and Queen Eliana of Atlantia, see Poppy for the first time. The Queen takes off her crown and sets it at Poppy's feet. And this is what she says to the guards and everyone else. "Lower your swords," she commanded, her chin lifting as she lowered to one knee, even as a potent, helpless sort of rage drenched the space around her, one that carried the stench of a long-buried fear come to fruition. "Lower your swords and bow before the Queen, before the last descendant of the most ancient ones, she who carries the blood of the King of Gods within her. Bow before your new Queen of Atlantia." Now that's the current queen, bowing to Poppy, whom she has never met before, but whom, from her powers, recognizes her as queen. And that is where Jennifer Armentrout leaves us. So you can't help but go to the next one, which is the Crown of Gilded Bones, which we will talk about in our next video. What would I give this one? I would give this a solid 10 out of 10 stars. It is by far my favorite in the entire Blood and Ash series. What did you think of A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer Armentrout? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And until next time, guys, I'm Miss K. Happy reading. Everybody, there's a lot of